Hi there, it's Wednesday, December the 9th, 2020. I'm J.R. Lewis, and it's time for our daily briefing, not the generic one, but a couple of things to discuss here on this Wednesday. Little bit of a movement in case count, nothing that seems to have anybody really worried at this point, but we're going to talk to the city manager this time, Helen Howarth. Some about the dashboard, and then mostly about this new opportunity, in case anybody hadn't gotten word, opportunity to get on board with the cash card program as a recipient of one of those. So those are our topics today. We continue to come to you in the 1, 5, and 8 p.m. hours on the radio and the upload to youtube.com/Cordova TV as soon as possible. Again, hello to you folks that join us on the internet to find out what's going on. So, City Manager is up next here on the Clam and the Eagle. So, Manager Howarth, let's start with the, I don't know if it's bad news, but the not necessarily exciting news of having a couple of cases. What is the position from the response team with regard to that so far?
Well, I think the good news is that the first case was travel related. It was caught during routine screening. And the second case is related to the first case. So our contact tracing program is working. Yeah. So I'm really confident in our protocols that we have in place, that we're identifying cases as they come into the community or as they emerge in the community, and we're hopefully identifying the folks that are related to those cases and mitigating any spread in our community. That's what this is all about. So right. I would say we were successful.
Good. Yeah, well, it would certainly seem to be. And hopefully with the doctors and everybody else being on top of it, this will remain isolated close to its source, which has been the case with most of our... I mean, we haven't really had any sort of widespread random transmission that we know of at any rate, right? Haven't all of the outbreaks managed to stay fairly contained to close contacts?
Yes, and the reason for that is that folks are getting tested. They are saying, you know what, I was in a risky situation, or I was traveling, or whatever it is, and they go in and they get tested, get identified, close contacts get identified, and we're able to tamp that whole transmission, stop that in its tracks. So I just have to commend community again for being so proactive and getting tested and taking care to follow the protocols in place to reduce transmission.
All right. And do you know off the top of your head what we need to see have happen for the we're still at the level 4 warning level. What has to kick in for that to go down a step?
We like to see no cases for I think it's over 2 weeks, like 3 weeks. And yeah. Obviously whenever a case emerges, then we're still not quite there. So yeah. And I think we were anticipating, given that people were traveling over the holidays and will continue to travel as Christmas approaches, that we would likely see some kind of case increase. And the fact that it hasn't been huge and dramatic increase is good news. So here we are, in the middle of it. We're just a couple weeks out from Thanksgiving holiday. We might see some more cases coming through, but right. I think we are going to keep ourselves where we are at with that higher level of alert, at least through the holidays, understanding that that's when people like to get together, and it's just human nature to congregate and celebrate.
So. Yeah. One of the hardest parts of this whole thing for a lot of folks, they can handle the changes at work, they can even handle some changes in income, but not being able to be in the presence of other people is very difficult. We're hearing that from psychologists and psychiatrists around the state, probably around the country. I pay more attention to the state.
Well, and we're all feeling it. I know I am.
Yeah,
it's like you're sitting there at night, with no one but your dog to pet, or
Yeah. But I mean, on the upside, despite what is going on with sharp increases on a daily basis around the state and around the country, Cordova continues to be a wonderful anomaly, and much of that, of course, is due to people being careful. So we hope that will continue to be the case. Now, moving to the other topic, which is the cash card situation. What brought about this reopening of for enrollment, and who is able to do that?
So once the cash cards got distributed, folks started calling and say, "Hey, I applied and I didn't get a card." And when we started seeing numbers upwards of 40, 50 people that felt that they were in that category, we were looking at our process and our systems and acknowledging that there might have been room for folks to think that they had applied and we don't have any record of them. So when we look back at the intention of the program, it's about business support, local business support. That's the priority of this program. How do we get resources into our local business communities so that they can sustain themselves and remain open? And we decided that this program was worth a try. We got 2,100 cards distributed successfully, and we have a group of folks, and maybe more than we even know about at this moment in time, who thought they applied. Something happened. Who knows what? We decided to give folks the benefit of the doubt because this is about business support. If it was worthwhile in the first place, well, why not just make sure that more money is circulating in our local economy? Why not just make sure that everyone who thought they should get a card, qualifies for a card, gets one? So we opened it back up again for a very short window. We have a deadline of next Monday at 5 p.m. And we're allowing folks who, whether they applied or didn't, if they didn't get a card the first round, they are welcome to apply. And we'll go through a quick review process on our end and try to get those cards distributed before Christmas so that people can spend that money locally in Cordova.
So there is then a system to be sure there aren't double entries and
Yeah, we've got that really well locked down. Again, because we had online as well as in person, we feel like we had a really good process in place, but there certainly was room to believe that there might have been errors made or something didn't happen. And so rather than question each individual, it's like, let's just be generous about this. This is about our business community. Let's just open it back up. Deadline's next Monday. After that, it's a firm deadline because we have a state deadline on when we have to distribute all of our CARES funding. And we're out of time. We're cutting it kind of close right now, but I think this is really worthwhile, and we're hoping that those folks who are in our community, our residents here, take advantage of this little window that's opening up and apply. And to do that, they need to go to www.cordovacashcard.com, and there's a banner on the top of it that says, "Didn't get your card? Click here," and you can fill out an application. There's a fillable form there. You need to save it to your laptop and then email it back to City, and we will send a confirmation. And or folks can just come into City Hall, and we have a station where folks can apply right there and get confirmation that they're all set. So either way, we're trying to make it easy, make it quick, and accommodate those folks that didn't get the first cash card.
Now, on the business side of things, if there are businesses that maybe that didn't get in on a first wave, or for any reason aren't set up to take the cards, is the application for that ongoing?
Yes, it's totally ongoing. We're happy to take any businesses into the program when they feel they're ready to or want to. The program cards expire in 1 year from the first distribution, so I think right at the beginning of December of next year. So they have a shelf life, and for businesses out there that are kind of going, yeah, maybe I'll do it, the sooner they get involved, the better, because that'll give more opportunity for the folks who have those cards to be able to use them at their businesses.
Okay, so that was the key thing I wanted to differentiate, is that any business, these windows of opportunity to apply, that is for the individuals that would be receiving cards, not the businesses that can take them as merchants.
Right.
Okay.
So, we want our local business community to engage in this program. We're publishing the names of all businesses that are eligible, that have cash card capacity, and we're changing that list as more vendors sign up. So,
how do you feel about the success of the program? I mean, with this possible hiccup and the need to, or the choice really, to reopen the entry. Overall, do you feel pretty good about the numbers and the level of enthusiasm?
Yeah, we distributed over 2,100 cards.
Yeah.
In the first round. So for us, it's been a huge success. And in the first week, I think we had upwards of $300,000 worth of those cards redeemed at local businesses, and we can track that. So it's been really exciting to see. And I've had some local vendors talk to me and say, hey, this has been a real boost. We're really, really excited to see this, because what it's doing is saying to individual members of the community, instead of going online, you got to use it locally. And I think it's going to be a really good thing. The truth will tell at the end when we really evaluate the program. But so far, so good. And again, I don't view this as a hiccup with this new reopening. I just view it as, let's just make sure that we reach out and embrace everyone who could have applied. I don't want people to say, oh, I missed the deadline, so I don't get the card, because ultimately we want them to have the card. We want them to use it at local businesses. We want them to support our economy in that way. So I think it's a good thing. And the fact that we might have 40 or 50 people who didn't get a card, that's a blip in the big scheme of the program. So success all around. Yeah,
it definitely seems so. Well, and then I continue to recall the multiplicative factor of, every time a dollar comes into the community and is spent, it circulates, last set of statistics I saw, upwards of 7 times before it would reach a point where it might leave the community again. So those run around over and over. You spend it at a business, that business gives it to their employee, their employer uses it, the employee uses it for groceries, the grocer passes it to their employee, and so on and so on.
Right.
So, this is definitely a good time for that to be working. Any final thoughts before we button it up?
No, everybody enjoy the snow. Let's hope it's a manageable quantity, but it's lovely to see white falling instead of raindrops. So enjoy December and keep safe, everyone. And we will be in touch. I think we'll have some news around vaccines coming out pretty soon. So every week is something new. But for those folks who didn't get their Cordova cash cards, please make sure you apply by next Monday.
All right, our thanks again to City Manager Helen Howarth for the information. This program, along with all the others that we've done of this type, will be going up to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Cordova TV, if you missed any of the details and want to hear them again. On the radio, we come to you in the 1, 5, and 8 p.m. hours, in addition to those YouTube uploads. City's main website, again, is covid19.cityofcordova.net. 424-INFO, the phone line to reach the city folks with any questions or comments. 424-WELL, W-E-L-L, for the pre-recorded announcement provided by the Village of Eac. And your daily briefings here from the Clam and the Eagle. Thank you for tuning in. We will get you back to regular programming now.